occasion for the marketing, and then I'm going to have some people from the play.
I don't see a script.
And I got something to read to the friend.
One of your many.
She's here to critique the old man of the school board meeting, see how badly
It's for St.
embarrassing he
Vincent's.
is.
I had it come.
That's what I
The
did.
percentage of the school district are related to you. I had silence. I missed your family, I mean.
Five brothers.
No, who are they all? They're Swiss. I see you have one. Okay, so I still might have one. I don't know. I had it.
I got it last time, I think. They sound like
I have some. Thank you.
Good stuff. All good stuff.
But did they all stay local?
One day was 6
Attention, please.
Where'd the other one go?
I'm going to call the November 7th.
Internal Revenue Service down in Virginia.
I figured that one. But none of them come in now. I don't
I
want
know, I don't know any
to
that live
take
by
their
me.
hats off. Okay, I'm going to call November 7th information meeting, Penn Trafford Schools information meeting order of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody. We're from the Penn Trafford Drama Guild, and this year we're doing Great Expectations. And we just wanted to hand these out to you. And,
Thank you so much.
Just, talk about it a little bit. It's this weekend. And
Good to see you there.
I'm Miss Howisham. I'm a crazy old lady who resides in her wedding dress for the majority of her life. And if you want to learn about it, just come and watch. It's going very well, so we'd love to see you there. I think that's it.
And it's November 11th and 12th at 7:30, and November 13th at 2 o'clock.
Yes, yes. So we'd love to see you there.
Be on vacation. I feel terrible.
All right, the costumes look great.
Thank you.
Wow.
I know, I'll be there Saturday night.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you for stopping down.
Of course. Have a nice day, everybody.
You too.
Thank you.
She's good, actually. Let's,
Okay, special reports.
Yeah, she's good.
How are you, Mr. Leonard?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to have a rather brief report and probably get used to that in the future. We had new financial services director, Mrs. Lynn Liu, has hit the ground running, and all indications are she is performing very well. I have been forwarding the weekly cabinet reports to the PT board email, so all admin and board can keep up to date on an ongoing week-to-week basis. I trust everybody's getting those. And also, there's a summary of the WIU board meeting, which was held on October 25th, is included in all board members' information. We have a pretty limited role at the IU, so the reports will be brief, and I'm trying to keep everything moving. Is everybody getting access to those reports we're sending through on the, have you got to look at those? If there's any questions ever, tonight or ever, please call, but we don't have a lot for Penn Trafford going on yet. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Career Tech, myself. We met on the October 19th, and we got a surprise. Our Assistant Executive Director, Mr. Jeff Geezy, he, because of health issues, he's resigning, retirement, and his last day is going to be December 22nd. His last day on record will be March the 3rd. He's up all his sick days. He said he's been fighting this for over a year, he says, and apparently, I don't know specifics, but he says it's not getting any better. So he decided to retire, is what it's coming down to. Okay, we, in his position as Assistant Executive Director, Mr. Brad Elwood, our Executive Director, recommended to the board that we elevate Mr. Eric Westendorf, who was a principal, now he's become an Assistant Executive Director, and we are going to advertise, we are advertising right now, we're going to interview on November 16th, at 5 o'clock, we're going to start at 5:30, how many candidates we have, and we're going to hire a principal, we hope, on our 16th meeting. The sports therapy exercise science, we hired a Jeremy Erkel, he's from Penn Hills, he's a certified athletic trainer, and he already did start. He started on the last month. Okay, Eric, by the way, Eric's salary will be $85,000. He was making $75,000. His salary went up $10,000 with much more responsibility. You will get in the mail, you will get a card for, postcard for officers. The Vice President is Mr. Warren Leader, exact same name as our former governor of our state. And Carl Spooty, again, he'd be on the name for the principal's job. This will be, president's job. And the banquet, Christmas banquet will be December 21st. So you're all invited. Please come. You can dine and dash. You do not take their tour of the building. You can come and you can get it in. I think it's definitely worth seeing. Okay, now I got some facts here for you. Of our last year's graduating class, 56%, almost 57%, are fully employed. 6% went to the military, and 31% went to the post-secondary education in their fields, where they were. And 5% did not respond, so we assume that they are unemployed. Now, the enrollment figures, they're down this year to 900. They were 1,000 last year, 43 are down to 981. The two biggest reasons for that is that York School District has dropped 9th grade. There's no, economic as usual. And also the Jeanette School District dropped AM Career Tech. So the only PM Career Tech. The enrollment figures, I have these, oh, by the way, we'll go through the shop classes. The enrollment figures are shop classes. The number 1 class is auto mechanics. Number 2 is cosmetology. Number 3 is health assistant. Number 4 is welding. And number 5 is carpentry. So, and auto mechanics is still in the lead, but cosmetology, that's pretty consistent every year the same way, at least, like, works out that way. Now, in enrollment figures, we are the 3rd largest student enrollment, the school district enrollment that could send our students to Central Votech. But the, as far as the schools, Hempfield is number 1 with 199 kids. Number 2 is Norwood, 144 kids. Then really surprised you, York is number 3, 125 kids. Then Mount Pleasant, 128 kids. Mount Pleasant's 3rd, 128. Then York is number 4, and we're number 6 with 71 kids. So that's the enrollment figures for the this school year for students. Okay, that's all I have to report for. And please, if you can, try to make that banquet, Christmas banquet. I think it's those who have attended, it's definitely very enjoyable, and the kids' culinary class does an excellent job. Excellent job. Okay, executive session.
Yes, the board met beginning at 5:15 this afternoon to discuss matters related to personnel and to receive information from the administration.
Okay, thank you. Information, Dr. Harris.
All right, we're going to first start off with the kids back here from Mrs. Stefkovich's class. They have a great presentation. I'll actually let the teacher start by introducing everyone and with the project.
First off, I'm Kim Stefkovich. Nice to see all of you. This is Athena Biolandi. This is okay. Ready?
Now, are you going to use the projector?
Yes, we are.
Because I'll have to move because I'm right in front of your projector. We'll move.
Presentation? Oh, really? Ooh.
No. What? Where?
Usually on the bottom.
On the bottom?
Is it not on?
Is it like obvious?
It's on.
Is it on? All right. I'm ready.
Go ahead. Ready?
Okay, yeah. We're here to present the 2016 T-shirt project on behalf of the second period Introduction to Admin and Management class. Some background on this project. Over the past 4 months, each class has created a company name and logo, billboards and commercials, goals, and the actual T-shirt design itself.
This year so far, we've received $5,000 from 32 local businesses. By having these sponsorships where it allows us to make 100% profit on most of the shirts that we sell. The sponsorships will be put on the back of the shirts, and there will be different levels. Gold is $500 and above. Silver is $250 to $499, and the bronze is $100 to $249. Both classes this year want to surpass the donation from last year. Last year, we donated $12,880 to Andrew's Avengers. Over the past 10 years, Penn Trafford students have donated over $60,000 to local causes and charities from this project.
So our recipient this year is the Saraceni family. I'm sure all of you know Mr. Saraceni, who has worked within the Penn Trafford School District for the past 12 years. His wife this summer was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. They have 4 kids, so all of our money will be going to them. Within our class, we like we said, we come up with a company name, and this year it was called FTG. And we also partnered with Mr. Vitton's class, took our ideas, and they made it into a commercial, which we'll show you.
We wear pink for Brandy Saraceni. We wear pink for Brandy Saraceni. We wear pink for Brandy Saraceni. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. Saraceni strong.
Okay, to go off of what incentives we have, once you buy a shirt, you're automatically entered in a raffle, and the incentives are 2 Steeler tickets, a gift basket that has $85 worth of gift cards, and a gift basket from Dunkin' Donuts that has $65 worth of stuff.
If you guys are interested, we'll leave some order forms behind for you. If you decide to fill them out, you can just submit them to the high school if you would like to take part in this. And on behalf of second period, we'd just like to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us tonight.
Thank you.
The girls presented at the high school administration, Brady and Ava did the other day, and did a great job. And Ms. Stefkovich does this every year with the kids, and it's a great project. She
What I like
tackles.
about this group, it's the first group that ever asked to come to the admin building or come to the school board, which I thought was great because you're right, it has been how many years now?
This is the 11th.
This is the 11th year and it's never been asked. So that's great that you take the initiative. That kind of motivation and self-promotion will get you far in life. So everything you're doing, how many people are going into business as a degree later in life?
They all better raise their hand.
Some people just want to take it to experience with it. But she does an excellent job, so thank you. Mrs.
Very nice.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Very
thank
nice.
you.
And the video was very
This-
touching.
Oh, I cried the first time I saw it.
When you
It's-
see it, that's why I think a
Very nice.
couple of us are kind of quiet
Yeah.
right now.
And just to give them more kudos, this has probably been the best year I've had. They've really stepped it up, and my classroom's controlled chaos, if you want to call that. We have a lot of different things going on. They took it upon themselves to go into some of the buildings in the district and present to the staffs there. So they've really, they've impressed me, knocked my socks off, and made me step my game up a little bit. The sponsorships, we got the proof today that the whole entire shirt is taken up with businesses, with all the people that donate. It was crazy. So they've done a wonderful job. I'm proud.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for all
you.
that you do.
Thank
Strong
you.
leadership.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim, just them down.
Okay.
Oh, Mrs. Stefkovich, I haven't, Mrs. Issing already
Oh, yes, that's right.
gave us your shirt.
Thank you.
So, Matt, I assume if we bring these back to you next Monday, we can just.
Yeah, you
take
can
care
do
of
that, or if you want to do it now, it's up to you.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can do it next Monday.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You actually heard also from the Great Expectations. They all came out. I was just going to read you the flyer, but that was kind of nice that they showed up in costume. So please come check them out this weekend. The following weekend is the Christmas Carol that'll be at Penn Middle School, the 18th and 19th. Tomorrow, obviously there's no school due to Election Day, but we're going to have a teacher in service using the on-hands data, the SAP program, the career awareness, and the 21st century learning. That's at the middle school and high school because they don't actually do the parent-teacher conferences at that age. November 17th, the Battle of the Book, second annual competition sponsored by the Penn Trafford Community Education Foundation will take place. We have about 175 kids reading this year. Other community news, Mr. Scott Coy donated $5,750 just recently to the foundation, earmarked towards the wrestling enhancements, so I appreciate that. We have a very small board, but we raise money throughout the year by all of our generous donations. That's why we keep doing it. PTARC news. At the PTARC meeting, a couple of things to share with you. They did have, I know we agreed on the amendment, but we're going to have to resubmit because they had some, didn't really change the language, but they just wanted different language changes, but it didn't really change the overall memorandum, but we just have to resubmit it. One of the things we pointed out that was for an alternates, we don't actually have an alternate for the school district, so we're gonna need an alternate for Penn Trafford to represent in case one of the 4 members can't be there. The PTARC budget this year is down by $4,000, so it's actually lower. They contribute that to basically the programs are really growing, so they're doing a great job with Linda Byers. I know that they sent us a letter stating the phase 2 is complete and all the great work that she did on it. And the best news came, and I'll let Mr. Petrucci share this.
Okay, I'd like to personally thank 2 fellow board members here. DCED, the Fairmont Playground in Trafford, Mr. Jim Matarazzo's, where he grew up at, very popular, one of the most popular playgrounds. It is a much needed neighborhood there, is much needed. And the Senator Kim Ward was, when she came and spoke, and they said she has much control over the DCED money. And I asked Mr. Matarazzo and Mr. Dallas Leonard and Mr. Casey Shube, he's a councilman in Trafford, if they would gladly talk to her. And they did. And I want to personally thank them, gentlemen. $122,000 grant written by Linda Byers, $24,000. We have to pay 20% of it. Trafford Rec Board, it's not 1 penny coming from the Trafford Borough Council. It's all money from the auction, $24,000. It should be done, I think she said this summer. Am I right about that, Matt?
Yes.
It should be done this summer, and it's the drainage and all the equipment, et cetera. It should look excellent, and after, I don't know, maybe my name has something to do with this, but I very seriously doubt it, is Senator Ward Company. She says, are you related to George Petrucci? And I says, unfortunately, no. I said, well, that helped me get the grant, I am. and so anyway, she just laughed. But I want to thank, again, Mr. Leonard and Mr. Matarazzo, the contact you made. And they told me it was all political, so I did everything I could to people who know her, and it worked. And you gentlemen deserve much credit, and thank you very much for that.
Because I was there, how many times did she submit that before?
This is the 3rd time.
The third time, so, and she never gave up. And then
That's
PTARC
true.
never gave up, and I appreciate that because they were turned down twice, kept going, and like I said, it paid off. So thanks to Mr. Leonard as well as Mr. Matarazzo for their support in the project. Mr. Trent Sims couldn't make it tonight because he has class, or he's our student representative, but he actually just emailed me what I'm supposed to read tonight. That's why I'm looking at my phone, so I do apologize. But he wants to inform us that Brett Carney, the student union president, and Trent met with Mr. Aquila, the school principal, regarding the media center. The students raised much concern over the new restrictions regarding the media center and asked the student union to take action. The student union chose to meet, to have a meeting where they discussed issues with the new rules. Eventually, they resolved the issues, and they're going to continue brainstorming to keep improving it. So that's one issue. And secondly, today at Penn Trafford, they held its most realistic mock election to date. This was accompanied by extremely technical live video coverage, student campaigning, and much teacher support.
Thank you.
Students were walked into the media center where they were checked in, just like a normal polling procedure. Then they proceeded to vote using Google Form on the Chromebooks and exited upon receiving stickers. This was the results of today's students' election. Trump was 57% of their votes. Clinton had 25% of the votes. Johnson received 12%. Stein received 2%. And other received 4%. So you can only imagine what the other category might have looked like today during the elections. But that's coming from Prince Holmes and the students. So I'm glad that he shared that with us. Next, before Scott does the updates on the building renovation project at the high school and the open house for next week, I just want to announce, and we haven't really announced this date, but we'll make sure it starts getting out there, that January 23rd, we're going to have a special meeting to discuss building needs and grade configuration of the district that may involve reorganization and school closings. So we're going to do that on January 23rd. And I know we talked about that in the prospectus. There was a prospectus article that went out to all the homes into Penn Trafford School District earlier, and we've been discussing that in meetings. So we're gonna have a special meeting just to discuss the topic of those different items.
Dr. Harris, all district residents are welcome to attend, right?
Yes, definitely.
And that's going to be, do we decide a building and location?
It's gonna be at the high school, and we're gonna actually send out things through, like we always do, Take Home Tuesday, Connect Ed. We're hoping that we get it in the press. George always takes care of it, and different things like that. So we will just get the date out there, keep advertising, but that's January 23rd. Just looking differently at what we want to do, and this is kind of goes with, we did a presentation earlier this year on each building needs and how much we have to cost to repair and what we want to do and how we want the district to look like in the future. Any other questions from the board on that? Just comments? All right, and Scott, if you can give us a construction update at the high school?
Well, the update's getting smaller and smaller each month, which is a good thing. And really, the only thing to report is we just have a couple guys here right now just finishing punch list items. So, you know, they think they'll be done in a couple weeks with some of those things. And, you know, there's, other than that, it's really pretty much done. We may be fighting over some things on the punch list. The contractors don't agree with it. They owe, and so we're going to work out those details over the next month or so. But again, the majority of the punch list should be done by the end of the month. We do have an open house. I want to remind everybody, next Monday, November 14th, from 5 to 8 p.m. We do have a board meeting that night, but our board members, you know, will be available hopefully afterwards to walk around as well. But students will be here, student union, kids will be here, and administration will be here from 5 to 8 p.m. to assist the community. Any district residents are welcome to come and take a look at the facility. You know, there's all kinds of new things here, so we want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to see, you know, what their tax dollars were spent on. So we look forward to it. We think the project turned out really nice, and we'd like to show it off to everybody. So hopefully we get some people to show up.
Last question. Scott, I saw the lights are on the sign now.
Well, sort of. They're there, but they have to be mounted permanently, so we still need the contractors to get them in concrete and fix them. Those are just there temporarily, to at least get some light on there.
I was hoping when I left tonight I was going to see the sign lit up. That's why I said.
You will see it. They're lit up, but they're not there permanently.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to get them set in concrete and the conduit run, but there's temporary light on there right now.
Great.
I go out this way. Is that sign, the nice sign you have down on Manor Road, is that lit too?
No, that's not lit. There's no electric in that area, so we do not light that.
Scott, do you know what the remaining contingency and will end up being, the amount?
Well, the last time I checked, Brett and I have to sit down and go over the final numbers of this whole project. The bills keep on rolling in, and it's not going to get all settled out for a couple more months, but the contingency was sitting right around $50,000, you know, the last time we talked. But again, there's a lot of loose items in the project and bills to be paid, so we'll have to see where we're at in a couple months.
I wanted to personally thank you for heading this entire project. I think you did a fabulous job. And the rest of the administrative team, I want to thank you guys too. I think everything went pretty well considering the size of the project. And it's the first time I was actually involved with something of this scope. So to see you guys in action and work out all the issues that came up, and I appreciate the effort and the hours and extra time and effort all of you guys put into this.
Thank you. There's a lot of
Very well
challenges, but
said.
we got through it.
Scott, did you learn more about construction than you ever thought of?
Plenty. We're ready for the next project.
He told me he's ready to start diving into another one.
Yeah.
We're ready. I mean, I think we can do it again.
So the board knows the majority of the things that went on, you didn't hear about. They resolved issue after issue after issue. They didn't have to come back here. So that was what was.
Yeah, well, there were thousands of behind-the-scenes problems and decisions and things that we had to resolve. But, you know, if you guys remember, the bulk of this project was behind the walls. Most of the money in this project, about $15 million, $12 million, was MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So it was stuff that was behind the walls. So you only see what you see, you know, when you walk the halls, but there's a lot more to it.
I do appreciate the Buildings and Ground Committee of Rich Demick and Mr. Leonard, who actually met above and beyond any committee's expectations. So I really do appreciate that, keeping us in.
They met every month, and they were very supportive, helpful in working out problems between the construction contractors, construction manager, architect, the district, and there was a lot of issues that they helped, you know, and both Dallas and Rich both have a background in that area, so their expertise was certainly valuable, so thanks, guys.
I just want to say this is the second $30-some million renovation I've been involved with. That was 20 years ago. And this went, of course, Doug Marassi is over 7 buildings. This is focused on 1 building, but the change orders are well under control. It wasn't anything like it was in the past. It's went very well, and hats off to everybody involved. Board members, Mr. Inglaze, Rich Demick, and Dallas Leonard, thank you for the great effort. You guys had a rich background, and you guys utilized it well.
And I hope a lot of community members come and take us up on our open house. Because I know we have a lot of the kids come up and the parents of students come up and they get to see it all the time. But it's for all the people who really don't have any reasons or kids in the school anymore. We encourage them, please come up and see the school. And we're very proud of it. Things we add, and I do like the add-ons we added at the end, which was nice, and the different things. And I always, anyone asks, I always tell them, remember, we did it with no new money on the table. Whatever our last existing project was, we rolled it into this project, so we never raised any mills or anything to get the high school done.
I'm also looking forward to open house next week too. How many people could just stop in during our meeting and make comments about the building? I'm curious what kind of response we're going to get. But doing this without any millage increase, except for the board members did 20 years ago, excellent performance. Hats off to everybody.
Very proud.
And without plan con.
And
So far, that's accurate. I hope it's not accurate very long though. Continue, man.
Sure. Anything else, Scott?
That's it, thank you.
All right. That's the rest of the information. Should I just start with athletics and extracurricular? All right, next week for athletics and extracurricular, we're gonna ask you to employ personnel, approve volunteer coaches. For budget and finance, we're gonna ask you to approve expenditures for the high school renovation project. As of now, there's nothing under buildings and grounds and safety, employee relations, negotiation, and transportation. Although I do want to remind you, this is the last year of the transportation, so we will be going out for bid. Is that correct?
Well, the board has to make that decision whether
We
they
will
want
have to be making that decision.
whether they want to prepare an RFP or if we just want to negotiate with First Student.
Okay.
We haven't determined that yet.
All right, so we need to be doing that in the upcoming months, or we should say maybe the next 2 months. The food service, there's nothing to report for next month. Although Robin did send me a report that I'm gonna have to send it to you because I don't have it with me.
Yeah.
On the comparison?
I have copies of it,
Can you
yes.
make it to us?
I do somewhere. In my stuff, I'll find it. There, here it is. You want to talk about it real fast?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Hopefully that's enough. Okay, well, while this is being passed around, you know that Robin Duff from Aramark has been preparing monthly updates for us to give us a comparison on the revenue side of where we are this year compared to last year, given that we went off the school lunch program at the high school. So in summary, if you look down, we'll just look at the revenue, I think was the important thing. After the month of October in 15-16, our total sales were $83,300. Reimbursements were $40,000, and a total revenue was $123,868. The same time frame for this year, sales are up to $95,000, an increase of almost $12,000. Reimbursements are down to $32,000, a $7,600 decrease, and that's due to not having the high school participate in the school lunch program. But overall, our total revenue is $128,196, or a positive from last year of $4,328. I think that bodes very well for what we've done at the high school. We are ahead on a net basis from last year. We were concerned that the program may cost us a lot of money, but so far it's looking pretty good. So we hope that she keeps up the good work for the rest of the year. I've heard a lot of positive comments, really very few negative comments. So it looks as though our decision to change our program here at the high school has been successful to date. And if you want to hear from Robin directly, she'd be happy to come in and address the board at any time. So just let me know if you'd like her to come in and do a presentation.
Any questions about the food program?
Thanks for the good news.
I have to say, I enjoy going for lunch too, for $4.50. It's a good lunch. Do you have a student in the back, or?
No, I'm a teacher, but I'm a little like a student. Dr. Harris for St. Vincent, they sent us to come and observe a school board.
Oh, okay.
This is my school daughter.
This is, oh, okay. I actually thought she might have been one of our high school students.
Masters first together, so we're here just observing.
Okay.
That's her school daughter, and that's my school daughter.
Well, thank you for, how's the school board meeting going?
Very, I'm interested, right, so much, I didn't realize you covered so many.
Okay.
And Brett, has any other schools asked us about how well we're doing on this program?
Not recently. I have not heard from any other schools. There was a lot of interest early on when we went off the program. Probably they'll wait until a little bit later in the year when they're getting to renew their contracts before their interest is renewed. And plus, it gives us a better baseline. A couple months isn't necessarily the best gauge in terms of how it's going to turn out. So I expect we'll hear some more by the end of the year.
Next week, under personnel and curriculum, we're going to approve substitute teachers and support personnel, approve leave requests, approve substitute positions and pay for PCA, paraprofessionals, and van driver, approve sabbatical request, approve conference request, employee personnel, approve student teacher assignment. For policy, public relations,